I'm going to take my mask off.
Yeah,
Just
everybody
so
bring your
own
own masks.
Yeah, feel free to take your mask off.
The rest of them put them back on. Use hand sanitizer.
Our whole disinfecting routine. We got to do it. We have wipes over here. I've sanitized my hands a lot of times. Okay, you guys. So normally I would put music on, but I'm having some slight technical difficulty, so we'll just go with relaxation. All right, so feel free to take a seated position or on your back, and you can recline in like any type of shavasana position that feels comfortable. And then eventually we'll make our way up to seated. But let's just start with a little bit of what I like to call a decompression. So you can do that either seated or you can do that lying on your back. Whatever position allows you to settle in enough that you can more just observe how your body is feeling. Just giving room and space to observe, but also just to invite your breath to be the main focus, sense of focus. Just watching the rise and fall of your belly. And perhaps even tracing through the body the areas that feel blocked or restricted. Or perhaps you already know those areas really soft. You bring your breath for awareness. And so until we encourage deeper breathing, we might feel a little restriction in our breathing, tension in the ability to breathe deeper. So rather than fighting against that, just maybe encouraging some deep belly breathing so the muscles stop and relax around the diaphragm. And this just looks like the belly rising and falling. Letting your belly come to like a Buddha belly, distended and soft. Softening to the jaw and the tongue. More and more that your body is just a container for this energy, for the breath, and is housing this energy that's always moving and pulsing. And then we become just more the observer to encourage it. And then you can, if you're on your back, make your way back up to seated, but just sitting as comfortably as you can. So if you need to sit up against a wall or sit on a blanket or sit on a block, you'll try to sit as upright as you can, where with minimal effort, you're trying to find the head over the shoulders, shoulders over the pelvis. So sometimes I'll sit against a wall or up on height just so my knees aren't pulling at the hip flexor. Hip flexor pulling down on the back. And then just finding that comfortable seat and the best alignment so that your breath feels unencumbered. And it might already have a little restriction here or there. This is natural, especially different times of the day. And then just for about a minute, we'll do deep belly breathing. So you're just watching the breath, but you're centralizing it on the belly, rising and falling. And so you can even hold the hands if you needed that guide or extra guidance to feel if you're bringing the breath far enough down. You can use the hands on the belly. So usually what I'll do is count to 5 on the in-breath and a count to 5 on the out-breath in my own process. And this way I know I'm slowing the breath down. I'm encouraging awareness of how long I'm breathing. And that also encourages a sense of groundedness, helps to shift the nervous system. Continue to let the tongue rest in the bottom palate. The jaw as soft as you can. And you can even breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just looking even for the natural pauses in the breath, between the breath. And then after the next 2 breaths, in breath and out breath, just letting that natural breath return again, so your breath is breathing you, not really encouraging. And you just notice, okay, what effect did that have on my body? Then sitting taller or as tall as you can, we're going to do a breath called Ujjayi Pranayama. So this is the base of all pranayama. And this is the victoriously uprising breath, and we do it through the nose. And it has a bit of an aspirated sound. We don't breathe the breath into the low belly. We're trying to keep it more centralized and at the torso, upper torso and chest, circumferentially. So we want to sit as tall as we can, really almost like we're filtering that breath through a straw. So slowly in through the nose and out through the nose. We'll do it like 30 seconds, nothing too crazy. If you have to release it and let the natural breath come, you can. So some people call this the ocean breath. You know, it sounds like a rumble in the ocean. And you're just breathing in and letting everything get broader and bigger up to the top of the chest and the collarbones. And you see if you can expand that breath, maybe retain the breath a little in between the inhale and exhale. So I'll try to over-exaggerate mine just a little so you can hear it. And so you're letting everything in every direction broaden and expand. And on the exhale, keeping the expansion. On the inhale, keeping the grounding. So it should be a very clear, marked difference in the way you're breathing. This has a direct effect on the nervous system. So try it 5 more times. Inhale and exhale. And then again, letting the natural breath return. How does it feel to have that natural breathing? And then slowly letting the eyes open. We're going to do one more breath exercise. This is a retention breath exercise that you do with a mudra, a hand mudra called the Vishnu mudra. So, you know, this is nor here nor there. I'm okay with you just using your hands however you need to. It's okay if you don't get it exactly, you know, right? So you'll take the middle finger and the pointer finger and you bring it in kind of almost like a hang 10, but you got your ring finger and your pinky finger and thumb sticking out. So what you do is you're going to retain the breath and close off the nostril and you'll inhale in one. You guys have done this? Okay. Well, even if you have, it's always an experiment. Every time I do it, it feels different. So you can close off the left. We'll start it this way. Inhale in the right. Till you feel like you're at your max, then you close off the right and exhale out the left. And you can push that breath out a little if you need. Inhale in the left. Block off the left and exhale out the right. And so on and so forth. Inhaling in the right, but at your own pace. If you get a little confused or lose track, it's okay. You're just trying to experiment deeper breathing. Retained breath, control. Good. 5 more times, 5 more rounds. After your last exhale, you can let the natural breath return, letting the eyes remain closed and just observant of your breath. And you maybe have noticed, even like I noticed, I have a lot of like congestion. I have to assist a bit in breathing just to get really clear, more resonant movement. But after pranayama, your lungs should feel, your breath capacity should feel changed. Energy of the body changed and a little different. And then let's do 3 ohms together. If you'd like to join, you don't have to. I like to think of this is another form of pranayama. You're just using, like in any vocal training as well, use your breath to move the breath. So feel free, hands at the thighs, hands at the heart. Deep belly breath in. Allow the eyes to open. You can feel free to stretch back onto your backs, you guys, and you'll take a full body stretch. So you can stretch down and out through the legs, especially after sitting for a while. The legs can become tired and fall asleep a little. Arms can stretch up and overhead. And just take a nice full stretch down through the heels, up and out through the fingertips. You can even flex and extend the feet. And even roll the ankles if you'd like, and the wrists and the hands. I also like to do what's called the moonwalk. I don't know who named this, but you reach down through one leg and up through that same side arm. And then you switch and kind of just along the floor, you're kind of like a cat would, stretching up and out and then down and out. Exactly. Good, then you can bend your knees and place your feet on the floor. Ooh, I don't know about you, but I have pins and needles in my legs. Draw the right knee into your chest, and you'll just take a few breaths holding that right knee in, and you can draw the knee toward the belly. And take a few breaths into the back body. And so the origin of our awareness is often frontally directed, right? Our eyes see out and forward. So the sensitivity of our practice is to engage, to draw inwardly, but also to the back body. So our breath, we can encourage deeper breathing at the back of the lungs. back area between the shoulder blades, in the back of the neck. Slide the left leg out, and you can bring that leg to straight along the floor and either foot extended or flexed or a little both. And then as you're ready, you can stretch that right leg up either with a strap around the foot or holding the hamstring. And the leg can come to any amount of straight. So you can keep a micro bend. So really more about your own pliability or movement. Start to roll that right ankle around to the right. The foot can roll and create little circular motions, figure eights even if you want. And all the while taking deep breaths. And then rotate the ankle the other direction and the foot the other direction. And then bending the leg and bringing that foot into a flexed position, you are going to bring the right leg out to the right just a little bit. So you'll hold on to that, the back of the leg, and then bring the leg a little out to the right so you feel a stretch in the inner thigh and the adductor. Good, inhale the leg back up and then bring the leg a little bit across you. Still at a right angle, that leg, a 90-degree angle, and you're just taking it till you feel a bit of a stretch. And you can switch the hand, how it's holding the leg even, and go till you feel a stretch in that outer hip. Good, bring the leg back to center and then re-extend the leg back up, just stretching the leg towards straight. Exhale your right foot to the ground and then draw the left knee into the belly, starting at the other side and just holding the shin in toward the belly, the knee or thigh toward the belly. And just coming back, what is the quality of your breathing? What is it like to embody your body right now? Slide that right leg out along the floor. And feel free to take another few breaths here. Begin to extend that leg up towards straight. So any amount, leg doesn't have to come to straight. I'm keeping a little micro bend in my knee just because my hamstring is feeling restricted. And my right hip is even feeling a little restricted, so I just kind of meet that boundary and not force it. Let the breath. So you can rotate the ankle around to the right like you did on the other side as well. And then rotate the foot the other way. Bending the leg to a 90-degree angle, take the leg out to your left. So you feel a stretch in the adductor, that's your inner thigh. Good, and then take the leg up and across you until you feel a minor stretch in the outer hip. So we're not going to full stretch, we're just starting to kind of meet those restricted areas and breathe into them. Okay, inhale back to center. Place the left, re-extend that leg, sorry, one more time. And then if you even want to bring that left leg a little closer to you, so you're drawing it in. Good, then release the left foot down. Place both feet on the ground. Inhale the arms overhead, and as you inhale arms overhead, you're going to lift the hips up for bridge pose. And so you're lifting and stretching up and out through the arms, Bringing strength to the back of the legs, and then exhale slowly back down, bring the hips back down, and then the arms back alongside your hips. So it's like a wave, and then you're going to do it again. Inhale, hips up, arms come overhead, and you're just flowing. And you go again, lower the hips, arms start to come back. So you can pace it at your own pace, and let's just do a few of these, 5 more. And breathing as you go. How is the quality of movements? How's your breath guiding you? And you're using those leg muscles, the glute muscles, the back muscles to lift. The shoulder muscles to lift the arms and move the arms. I have 2 more. I don't know about you. I'm going to go 2 more times. You can add another 2 if you'd like. Good, then come back to neutral on your back once you're done. And you'll bring the arms out to a T, and you're going to go palms face down. So you rotate palms down, and this stretches the forearm. Knees are bent. Now feet are a little wider apart. So you're going to go a little wider to the outer width of the mat, and then drop both knees off to your left. So windshield wiper to the left, and you're just going to pause and try to let gravity stretch you open so that the knees are heavy, but you can always space the feet apart any distance that works best for your knees, your back, if you need to adjust the distance between the feet. Inhale the knees up, and then bringing the knees, windshield wiping them over to the right. And again, gravity, let gravity take the knees over. All the while breathing, release any strain, tension. Inhale the knees back up, go back to the first side, and then this time you'll swim that right arm up alongside the ear, either palm face up, or you can now rotate the hand all the way, palm down the other way. So thumb is facing out towards the shoulder, out away from the body. So you're stretching the forearm. And the points of the body that are touching the ground, we let gravity draw down on them. So a natural stretch from gravity. Inhale the knees back up, the right arm will sweep back out, either palm up or palm back down. And knees come over to the right, and left arm is going to swim up and alongside that ear, and I'm going to turn the palm down and the thumb out. So this is a big forearm stretch, good for all that computer work and phone stuff, writing, anything that creates tension and overdevelops the front of the forearm. Inhale the knees back up, and then you'll sweep that left arm back out to the left. Cross your right ankle to the front of the left thigh. And then you can either stay here in this eye of the needle or Suchirandhrasana, or bring the legs up and hold the back of the left thigh. I like to keep my right foot in a strong flexed position, but that's up to you. That, for me, engages that outer hip muscle. And then sometimes I rock a little bit. I create movement or try to find the spot where I feel like, okay, meet the edge of the stretch and release into it. Okay, then release, keep the legs as they are, release the arms to a T. You're going to place left foot back down and then bring the knees over to your left foot, and try to keep that position of the legs. Oh yes, until you feel a stretch in that outer right hip. Position how you need to get that. I try to create a little inward rotation of the inner thighs to keep my low back with a little curvature, so I'm not flattening completely. I've curved there just slightly as I'm stretching. I'm not overly binding the pelvis and the release. So it's really trying to get just to that outer hip and rotating the piriformis. Okay, release the cross of the legs before you untwist. And then you'll bring the legs back up, place the feet back down. Cross left ankle over right thigh. Try to release the head and the shoulders back so the upper body is relaxed. You can even reposition, then bring the knee back in. So this will tend to pull in that we're working in the hip area in this way. The head will tend to pull, shoulders pull. So we try to maintain the sense of, okay, can I still be in that meditative kind of observation of how my energy is moving, how am I using my energy against the stress and the strain in the body. So we use this we can use this philosophy called as much, so much. We're just applying just enough effort to be present, just enough effort to keep subtle engagement, just enough effort to help release and to push into that stretch. Okay, release hold of the back of the leg. You can place the right foot down, then come into the twist. Both legs coming over to the right. Position how you need to adapt the pose to make it your own. So you're still in that eye of the needle position, ankle at the front of the thigh. Palms can either be face down or face up of the hands. Good, uncross the legs before you untwist. Bring the legs back up. Fantastic. Draw one knee into the chest and then the other. You can hold the knees in and rock in a circular motion or a little figure eight if you'd like. And then we'll take a happy baby, or you go knees wide and hold onto the shins. If you can't get the soles of the feet and ankles over the knees, you can always modify and adapt. Take 5 deep breaths here as you gently draw down on the feet and the ankles and the knees toward the armpit chest. And then can you actively push up on the feet like you're trying to touch the ceiling? Create this bit of an active, dynamic stretch. Okay, have a breath and then exhale to release the legs. Roll to your right hand side and using your arms to push yourself back up. You can come to a seat right at your mat. Feel free to use your blanket again to sit up a little higher. And you'll go soles of the feet together. And then taking the soles of the feet, and you're gonna work your feet open a little. Like this is old school, like Ashtanga, they used to always do this. Like pull your feet apart. I love that. Because you get a stretch at your hip flexor just a little bit. Then you're gonna lean and you can round. You can even put a block. If you have a block and you wanna use a block under your forehead, I do that sometimes. If it feels like too much work to stretch the feet apart, you don't have to. You can just do it a little bit. Then relax and release and just come into the stretch. You can give yourself a little massage too if you want. Working the thumbs into the... So this is very much a back stretch. It's a hip stretch, but you'll feel it in your back, middle back, even muscles maybe around the shoulder blades. Okay, and then inhale slowly to rise. Okay, you can cross right shin over left shin. So you'll take Sukhasana, we call this. And then bringing the arms out in front of you, you'll do what's called sleepwalking arms. So you're just going to go straight out and then gently draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Just a little bit, so you feel like the shoulder blades slightly retract. And then you're just going to stretch back forward. So this is a subtle stretch, but it just helps to wake up the muscles. So you pinch back and then release. And then pinch back, but it's coming from here as opposed to from the peripheral. It's hard. You want to feel like those lats are squeezing. Yeah, like almost when you're doing a push-up, you know, you pull in and together, and then out. And in. We'll just do it 3 more times. You just squeeze in a little bit and release. Squeeze in and release. Little reps. Good. And release. Good. Then you're going to bring the arms up and turn the back of the arms or the top of the arm to face each other. So palms out. Yes. Then you're going to try to resist the elbows from coming apart. Like for me, this is already hard. I'm already sweating. I just got a hot flash. And you're going to start to lift. Oof, and the elbows are going to come apart. And that's okay. But you want to keep resisting, even though they'll come apart. Then you might hit a spot that you're like, this is work. You can stay there. Let the head, if you want, the neck, chin comes to the chest is what I'm trying to say. Either or. This is a big release of the shoulders, but also tones other muscles to help release other areas. Good, release it down. Oh my goodness, and then you can shake it out a little bit. Oh yes. Okay, then you're gonna take left arm across, And you're gonna hold the arm with the hand, and just any amount, you're just really trying to let that shoulder girt relax, so the torso is what's keeping us kind of buoyant and lifted, yeah? So you take it across, real simple stretch, look to your, you take it, right hand to the left, across you, and then you look to your right. Yeah, I got you guys all confused. I see what I'm doing wrong here. I'm trying to mirror you, but I'm not mirroring you. So take your left arm across you and look to your left, not your right. I got it backwards, my apologies. So you're gonna look over the shoulder that you're pulling that arm side across. Oh my goodness. Sorry, you guys, I flubbed that one a little. It's the forward, the backwards, and getting everything confused. Okay, inhale it back to center, then take the other arm across you. Yep, and then you're gonna look toward that shoulder, the shoulder you're pulling. So look now toward your, whatever arm is across you, look to that shoulder. Yeah. Look to the shoulder of the arm you're holding. So you wanna look that way. Yeah, everyone's doing a different arm now, so now I can't say left or right. We can try it again. We'll do it twice. Okay. Anyway, I need this a lot. Simon says, hold your arm. Okay, good. Release it. Let's try one more time. So now let's bring our right arm. I'm going to mirror you this time. Right arm across. Hold your right arm, then look to your right. But let your shoulders drop down. So you want to try to prevent the shoulders from coming up toward the neck. So you should feel this at the back of the shoulder blade, under the shoulder blade a little. Good, and then release it. Let's do one more time the other side. From the right arm across to your or left arm to the left. Good, and then release it down. Inhale, right arm up alongside the ear, and you're going to walk it out to the left and then reach. The right hip can stay really fully, firmly rooted. You don't want to let that right hip lift. Keep it down as you stretch up and over. So it's really about length and creating distance and space. So this is super important too, because this is the area that houses the diaphragm. We get length in that side body, help us to breathe better in the long term. Good, inhale it back up, release the right arm down and bring that left arm right up, side stretch. Inhale it back up through center. Okay, bring the arms in front of you, sleepwalking arms again, pinch the arms back slightly, then you're going to interlace. Go palms out. Yep, try to keep a softness to the elbow and bring the arms up. So the shoulder will tend to go with us, but we want to try to keep that the shoulders down a little bit. Girt, that's the word I was looking for. You said shoulder gate, my new language here. Your shoulder gate, it is one of the gates of the body, shoulders and pelvis. Okay, exhale over to the left, little side stretch. Big side stretch. Good, inhale back up. Keep it nice and long and lifted as you exhale over to the right. So I always think ballet dancer when I do things like this. You want that torso to be lifted, the neck free. Inhale back up, release the arms, swim them down. Good. Okay, let's come onto all fours, and you can take a child's pose. So I'm going to put a blanket down for myself, but any kind of child's pose, knees together or apart. Okay, so I'll turn this way just so everyone can see. And we'll go this way. I like to go knees wide and then straight out. Yeah, so you're going to do a side stretch here. So I want you to try to keep your hips heavy, and you're going to stretch from your rib cage forward, out through the arms. 3 deep breaths here. Then begin to walk to the left. So walk both arms to the left. Now I'm going to bring my knees a little closer together, and I'm going to try to get a side stretch through that right body. So I extend out through the right arm, and I sit back through the right hip. So I crescent again. We're just changing position, so we include a little hip flexor compression, thigh compression and stretch. Okay, begin to walk it all the way to the left. Stretching out that side body. Breathing into the left waistline. So this is where our pranayama comes in very helpful. We can make it passive and deep belly breathing, but we can also encourage that ujjayi pranayama, and we can say, okay, I can use the mind and my awareness to govern the breath in certain areas, to hold my body's energy in a certain way as I practice. Okay, bring it back all the way to center. Bring yourselves back upright, and then you can find your way to your right or left side. I'm okay, whatever side you want. And you're going to take what's called, this is Vishnu's couch. So we have 2 Vishnu things today. We have the hand gesture of Vishnu. Vishnu I'm not Hindu actually, but I do love mythology, and I went to India to this amazing Vishnu temple. It was like, I've never seen, the Vishnu was like the size of this room practically. It was giant in a cave. It was so beautiful. So Vishnu lies like this. This is what the statue looks like. He's lying on his side, thinking the world into creation. So you'll grab hold of your left foot, and you're going to take a thigh stretch, and we'll think into our own creation, what we're going to do with the rest of our day, the rest of our yoga. So you just pull that foot in, you can push the foot out. You can even lie down, head down if that feels good. And you're just trying to get a thigh stretch, essentially. I don't know about you guys, but it feels pretty good to me.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Oh, yeah. I haven't stretched my thighs. My whole body's feeling tight these days. Extra tight. Okay. Go ahead and release it. Stretch. Yeah, right? Okay, roll to the other side. Are you guys feeling that way too?
Yeah.
My goodness. I hate to say I'm glad I'm not alone, but I've never felt like this really in my body, I don't think. It's a combo of dehydration and stress. Because it's dry out there too. We have to stay hydrated. Yes. Breathing and stretching and crying can go a long way. Yeah, what's that little quote that says, right, you can solve a lot through salt water, tears, exercise, right, sweating. Okay, go ahead and release it. Okay, now you're going to roll back to your belly, you guys, and then you're going to press up in any kind of version of pigeon pose. So we're going to go to a pigeon this way. So coming right leg forward or left leg forward. You can always take this variation if you know you can't go one leg straight back. You can always do it like this. This would be your alternative. I do it like this a lot with my knees because I have sensitive knees. I just did too hardcore stuff for too long. So I gotta be nice to myself. So here, your back foot pointed or flexed. You can even play between it. You know, like where do I? This is really the whole point of the stretch is for that piriformis. Anytime the leg comes into a right angle, and externally rotates, it'll stretch that muscle. Careful. Okay. Feel free to also use blocks under your head if you want to block under the forehead or to rest the head down if you want to make it a little more yin. You begin to inhale upright, and any amount you can get yourself upright, you can even use a block. I'm going to shorten my stance a little, and then just bring my hands forward to open the chest a little bit, with a slight back bend. And just take 5 deep breaths if you can. And then switch sides however you'd like. Either you can sit and swing it around. You can do a down dog, all fours, whatever you like. I'm going for the seated variation myself. Mm-hmm. And getting yourself situated. And you can come forward onto the forearms as you're ready. I'm just continuing to watch your breath and watching how you engage with that stretch. They begin to rise up, come to a back bend again, 5 breaths. And that like 4th chakra area, the solar plexus chakra, we let that area soften forward. This is where we're bringing that back bend, trying to go more thoracic as opposed to lumbar. So lumbar has to stay a little strong. Thoracic lifts and moves forward, in and up. You're going to come back onto all fours and either take a puppy pose. This is your half down dog. The puppy pose this, or full dog. If you want to do a full down dog, feel free to place your feet. Yep, either or a child's pose. Yogi's choice. I'm going to take a down dog and walk my nice stiff ankles out. Mm-hmm. Okay, find your way to your belly. So come to your belly just for one last little back bend here. That's slightly active. So this is the Sphinx. You can also do a cobra if you want. I'm going to opt off of my wrist at the moment and just come here. And then I make the leg strong. I root my tailbone. I work little actions so that I'm actively lifting the ribs up, the thoracic in and up a little. Good, then exhale to the belly. Interlace the fingers behind the back. We'll do one more. Either index finger on top, and then inhale to lift the arms and the legs. Take deep breaths. Good, exhale to release. Place your hands and come back to one last either down dog or one last puppy pose just to stretch out. Feel free to lift a leg, one leg up, and you can even twist a little bit. Okay, then come back down to the knees, and you're going to take your blanket or your block. So you can use a blanket or a block, and we're going to do a little back bend, passive back bend. So you can do a blanket, you can do a block. I'm going to go this way, and then keep my knees bent. I'm going to go along my spine, and then this way, so it opens the chest. So you can do it any which way. You could even do it the other way, along the shoulder blades. You can put a blanket under the block. And we'll just stay here for a tiny little bit of time. The arms can come to a cactus, or the arms can come alongside like Shavasana arms. It's your call. Either legs straight or knees together so the spine is neutral and you feel like you can relax a little bit here. And it didn't cleanse. How do you want to recline? Flat on your back for Shavasana you can. You can also stay, excuse me, in this position. Excuse me. Any position that's comfortable. You can even do legs up the wall if you needed to do something more for restoration. You can go legs up the wall for your Shavasana. Letting your breath to lengthen and to deepen. And stretch out through your fingers and your toes. Through your arms and through your legs. And going to your right or left hand side. You can rest there for a few moments. As you're ready to rise back up, you can take a seat. We'll just sit for about a minute with our eyes closed. It's a little final short meditation, moments of centering. And so our yoga is one that, all yoga is one that really is about that connection between our awareness and action, not necessarily how we're stretching the body, but how do we live in the body? How do we live in this body that's been given to us? Respond to how we can respond to the outside as well as the inside. Offer one on to finish if you'd like to join in. Take a nice deep belly breath. My heart to yours, namaste, guys. Thanks for coming today. Thank you. So nice to have you here. So nice to be teaching yoga live in person. So this is my first yoga class back. Yay! I love it. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here on Fridays. This is my new time slot. I was doing Sunday nights and that was just a tricky time slot. So now I'll be here 11, 12, 15. You did. You did right before we shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember we were like sanitizing the props. I was like, sanitize your props.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because I love restorative. In fact, I was supposed to, before that all happened, we were scheduling, I was going through teacher training, restorative teacher training. But that's okay. There will be time for that. It'll happen.
Oh, yeah.
I'll come back.
Definitely.
I could always do it online. From the comfort of your own home. You know, something.